It's been so much fun being here at South by Southwest. And let me tell you honestly, what I love the most is that over the past couple of years, I've met a lot of really cool people online. And, this is the first time I got to meet everybody in person. All weekend I've been meeting folks, and today's no exception. I actually get to meet the great Rachel Wolfson in person. Thank you for swinging by the Stellar Lounge. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Sam. And I'm excited to meet you as well because we've been communicating on crypto Twitter for a
Yeah.
while. So it's always good to meet someone in real life.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, we all do exist off of crypto
We
Twitter.
do, yeah.
So let me ask you, how you been enjoying South by Southwest yourself?
So, well, South by Southwest is one of my favorite events ever.
Yeah.
I came to, I guess it was in 2018. I think it was the 2018 or 2019. That's when I first met Laura Shen,
Oh,
the Bad
wow.
Crypto guys,
Oh,
Brittany
really?
Kaiser, yeah, Joel and
Nice.
Travis. And that was just such an exciting time for me. So I have very good memories of South by, and I'm just so happy to be here again, this year because they didn't do it last year.
Right.
And now I'm living in Austin part time. So South by is great. It's a lot of fun. It's exhausting, but this year it's the most crypto I've ever, now with the NFT and Web3 boom. This is like huge with South by now. It's insane.
Yeah. Because South by started off as a music conference, and like you said, with where we are right now is this convergence where the web is coming to life, and
Right.
it's all of this, right? It's art, it's music, it's business, it's everything. So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
it's really cool. So
Yeah.
like just in that one story you just gave right there, I mean, it just shows to the audience, I think, how deeply connected you've been. You've been here now for what, maybe 10 years in the whole crypto world, and you've seen a lot of different changes. Obviously, right now we're in this NFT craze,
Yes.
right? I mean, what are your thoughts of NFTs, and have you seen any kind of unique use cases that stood out to you?
Yes. So NFTs are interesting in my opinion because Sam, as you know, I came into the space with this enterprise passion and
Yeah,
background for enterprise blockchain.
right.
And so while I've known about NFTs, with CryptoKitties and all of those early use cases, now we're seeing this big boom of NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some very good use cases that really stand out for me. So, first thing that comes to my mind is the Ukrainian government
Oh,
and the donations
yes.
and
Yeah.
those use cases because we've recently seen the Ukrainian government reach out on crypto Twitter
Mm-hmm.
asking for crypto donations, and that has exceeded expectations. I think so much money has been raised through crypto for the Ukrainian government.
Right.
So those NFT use cases where they're going, NFTs are being created for charitable causes. I mean, not only are people giving crypto to the Ukrainian government, but people are creating NFTs to raise funds for the Ukrainian government.
Right.
That's probably the best use case that I've heard of recently because it's a real world application, and it shows that NFTs can be used for good, and that's one of the
Yeah.
best use cases, I think.
Right. No, that's a great one. That's actually the first person that brought that up today. So that's awesome. One of the things that's always I guess really stood out to me as well is, I mean, the wide range of things that you're involved in. I mean, you write, you do public speaking. I mean, I know you've been on panels and whatnot. Over this weekend. You know, how have you done it? I mean, especially in this crypto world, you hear so much that it's so male dominated and oversaturated. Um, what would you say has been your secret in your niche of getting into it?
Yeah, I mean, so I think first and foremost, I have a passion for writing. That's what brought me into the space
Wow.
because I've always loved writing. I've always enjoyed writing about tech. And so writing about blockchain just seemed like a natural extension coming from that tech world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what brought me in initially. But yeah, I mean, as a journalist, you meet people, you go to conferences. I've been going to conferences for years. And all of a sudden, you get good at speaking because you learn from those people about
Right.
what's going on in the blockchain and crypto space. So that kind of led me to start speaking on panels. I wrote a Bitcoin ebook that's on Amazon.
Yes. Download it. Make sure you go check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
I need to
Absolutely.
update it because I think I published it about a year ago. But Tim Draper wrote the foreword. And
Yes,
it's, you know,
that's crazy.
Bitcoin for beginners, so it's very basic information, but that's what we need right now, is
Right.
because now that the mainstream is starting to come in. But yeah, I mean, I think just like my passion for writing is what drew me in, and then it just kind of expanded from there.
That's really neat. So I mean, gosh, Tim Draper. So you've seen basically this whole evolution over time, and everything's been going. What do you feel is going to be the next, I guess, craze or evolution of crypto? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that? What might be next?
I mean, so just initially off the top of my head, we're in this NFT boom that we're
Right.
seeing, and we're seeing some really innovative use cases. What I'm really excited about is NFT fashion and digital fashion, because I've always been
Oh,
into the
okay.
fashion space, and it never really connected, in my opinion, with blockchain. It
Mm-hmm.
was always, there's tech and there's fashion, and so what I'm excited about is NFT fashion and wearables that we're seeing in like Decentraland for avatars, and then just
Ah.
like digital fashion that you can superimpose onto Instagram photos.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's going to be really big just because of the NFT boom that we're seeing.
Right.
Also, we're seeing mainstream adoption of cryptocurrency now. Everybody wants to know, it seems like everybody wants to know what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, what, Stellar, they're trying to get in, and they're trying to get in now. So I think we're definitely going to see that. More regulations, which I also think we need, because in
Yeah.
order to drive mainstream adoption, we need that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to see all of that, but a lot of it has been driven, at least now, I think, by the whole NFT Web3 craze.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you hit on so many things. It's like, the whole fashion, angle of it, and especially with augmented reality and the superimposition you said, I think you might be right because there's been a lot of talk about it and not as much use cases yet, but there's definitely a lot of things on the horizon.
Right, definitely. It's on the horizon, and you're hearing a lot of it at South by Southwest this year. When it
Yeah,
comes to NFTs, it's not just about art, but it's about this whole Web3, digital fashion and music and film and
right.
art. I mean, it's all here at South by. We're all talking about it. So,
Yeah, I think I saw that Estee Lauder was here. They've worked on some NFT integrations. PepsiCo, I think I saw as well.
yeah.
So yeah, I think we're only getting started. Something else that you pointed out, and kind of in line with all these brands, is that they are starting to learn, kind of for the first time, something that is so common to many of us. So there is still that level of re-education that needs to take in
Right.
place. Yeah,
Right. And we're seeing these major brands reach out to people like us who
yeah,
have been in the space for a while, because they want to know, how does all of this work?
yeah,
Right? Because like having an NFT and creating that is one thing, but how do you leverage it? What's the utility behind it? That's
right.
really important, and that's why I pointed out with the donations going to the Ukrainian government.
Hmm.
That's such a good use case for NFTs. Like, talk about utility,
Right.
giving back to people in need, and obviously that's huge right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It's a really exciting time. Um, we're here at the Stellar Lounge. I don't know if anyone could hear. There's people starting to pile in. We're about to have this great happy hour event here that we invited all of South by to, by the way. So as we get ready for this, you've been one of the first journalists that have been, following the Stellar Network. And also the Stellar community. I mean, I want to thank you. I mean, you're one of the first journalists to actually follow me back. So, what was it about Stellar that stood out to you? Do you remember? And just
Yeah.
kind of, I'd be curious.
I mean, so just off the top of my head, I remember, because I came into this space covering, and I still am covering, enterprise blockchain.
Yeah.
So with Stellar, it just made sense because of cross-border payments and all those early use cases initially in 2017
Mm-hmm.
with the network. I mean,
Right.
I think in terms of cross-border payments, Stellar network is one of the best options.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
fast, the transactions, low cost transactions. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many benefits, and there's a lot of innovation happening on the Stellar network when it comes to just moving money across borders. So Sam, as I was telling you about that recent news that I saw from Stellar about
Ah, yes.
MoneyGram,
Right. Right. That's
and
huge.
yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
So how, you guys are partnering with MoneyGram to enable smooth transaction payments all over the world, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, so for those that don't know, so the Stellar Development Foundation and MoneyGram, they partner together to allow anybody with a Stellar wallet have access to on-ramp and off-ramp, meaning move your USDC, your US dollars onto the network, and then essentially just send it out anywhere. I saw this really cool demo where they were able from their Stellar wallet, their decentral Stellar wallet, pick a store. I literally scrolled through all the different locations across the country, and within seconds, someone could just walk in and get money. I mean, that's unheard of. This is exciting stuff.
It is exciting, and and also just a lesson that we're seeing now with what's happening, Ukraine. Like, we need some sort of money that can be borderless, right?
Right.
We cannot have money bound by the government with restrictions, because there are crises that could happen, and then what do you do, right? And we need to be able to move money easily cross borders. So this is a perfect use case.
It really is. You bring that up again, and I think that's important. When I think and when I'm looking at these events on television, and I said, wow, what if I got word that we were getting invaded here in the States, and I had to pick up and leave? And there's solace in thinking that, what, because of blockchain, because of crypto, you can salvage some of what you've earned and what you've created, and hop on a bus, hop on a train, and and leave, relocate, and at least have something to go with you. And the quicker we can get that spread around and get that word spread, the better.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I want to end off on something because as I mentioned, you've been an inspiration to everybody,
Thanks.
Including myself. But I know also to a lot of women that are out there that that have been following you over the years. They're excited about crypto and blockchain. I'm just wanted to end and get your opinion on what do you feel that the rest of the crypto community can do to encourage more women to get involved into blockchain, because this is an opportunity that really we don't want people to miss out on.
Right, it is. It's a huge opportunity, and especially now with the rise of Web3.
Yeah.
Now, I was recently speaking with Danelle Dixon.
Shout out to Danelle.
Danelle,
Yeah.
right, and she is the CEO of SDF,
Correct.
Right. So I know she's been in the space for a while. She's a huge advocate of women and bringing women in, especially getting them involved with SDF. Now, I believe she told me that SDF was hosting a hackathon. I think that's what.
That's correct.
Right.
Yep.
I spoke with her for Women's International Women's Day.
That's right.
Which was
that's
on
right.
March 8th. And so I think that just initiatives like that, bringing
Right.
women in through hackathons, bringing women in through educational initiatives, having women CEOs like Danelle. I
Yeah.
mean, that's huge, and it makes other women comfortable when they see other women in leadership positions. So I think that that's really great. We need to continue to educate women on why this space is just so amazing.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes women and men, honestly, just everyone may look at blockchain and crypto and they think, wow, I know nothing about it. How would I fit into that space? Well, guess what? I came into this space in 2017 knowing nothing about it either.
Yeah.
I remember I read about blockchain and I was like, what's blockchain? Right? And it's like, that's where we
Now
all
look at you.
Right, that's where we all start. And I educated myself by speaking with people and learning from them. And that's, you come into the space not knowing anything, but if you learn and if you speak to the right people, you'll learn over time, right?
Right.
And so I think initiatives from companies to bring more women in, more educational initiatives, and just not having that fear of asking the wrong question or feeling, stupid or unknowledgeable because you don't know anything about blockchain.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome, because it's funny, my mom obviously she follows. She's retired, so she follows crypto Twitter, by the way.
Nice.
And it does it. When I did an interview with Danelle, when let's say I did an interview with Tori, who's the CEO of Leaf Global, which is a fintech that utilizes Stellar. Those stories connect to her because she's able to see herself in this new world.
Right.
And so yeah, you're absolutely right. So once again, I just want to really thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us,
Yeah.
Rachel. It's been a pleasure to see you over the years. Glad to finally get to meet Rachel in
I
person.
know, yeah.
So I'm going to be here this whole entire weekend. It's the South by Southwest. Once again, this is Sam with Stellar Global, and this is what it's all about. It's about connecting people in the community with the network, those that are entrepreneurs, devs, and really take advantage of Web 3.0.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Rachel, you've been incredible. Thank you again.
Thanks. Bye.
Take
Thanks.
care.